So welcome back, guys. My name is Argenis. Today it is Thursday, the 23rd of February, 2023. So what I want to talk to you guys about today is basically the top three things in my own experience when you're starting a business not to do. So the channel, as you may not know, if you're just joining, is Business Tax and Insurance Depot. I have it right there. Please subscribe to the channel. Really would appreciate it. So a couple things that we're gonna go over today are basic stuff that I see a lot of the times that newbies they just get wrong. Usually you get into your feelings and then you make a wrong decision, and that wrong decision leads into another wrong decision to another wrong decision, and then before you know it, you are in a storm of hurt. You're looking for help, you're looking for partners, but it's too late. Nobody wants to touch you, etc. So we want to make sure that the first things that we're doing is that we are setting the right prices, right? Setting expectations for our customers. I notice a lot of the times that this is something that when you're first starting out, if you don't plan correctly, right? Everyone says, hey, start a business plan, right? But you, like Mike Tyson says, everyone thinks they can box until they get punched in the face, right? Things get a little quaky when you first put out a product, when you first put out a service, when you ask for anything out there that has value that you have to convince someone to give you money for, right? It's a little different once it's out there in the market, and then the market tells you pretty much what your services are worth. So the first thing is obviously set your prices correctly, right? And don't sell your soul, right? You're here to make money. You are not here to be a beggar, to ask for help. You're here to give a good service, and you should feel good about, the price that you're currently at because it's a good service at a good price that you can feed yourself and your family, as well as your employees can feed themselves and their families, right? Because the goal is to have longevity, to be here for a while, to help others while you're doing business, right? So obviously, this is going to go into um, budgeting for the correct market rate for your employees, right? This is something that I was budgeting for when I first started my business, but then the pandemic hit, and a lot of the rates that were there before were like astronomically different. It was like a 30% increase in some people's salaries. So it was a little bit different budgeting on the fly, but even still you need to budget for your employees, right? So what you pay for is what you're gonna get. Everyone knows that old saying, but it's really true. I'll tell you a quick story. When we first started out, we were more on the cheaper side, I would say, and we were trying just to get by, right? We didn't have a lot of money, couple, 20, $30,000 just starting out. And they may seem like a lot when you're starting out, but it really is, and it goes by so quickly. So we were trying to cheap out a little bit, and I'll admit, but what I noticed is what the quality of folks that we got weren't always the greatest. Now we did get a few good ones, but I would say 90% were just here to take, take, take. They didn't want to show up to work. They were showing up late. It was a headache. I was losing money. And on top of that, I was paying for marketing to get these folks here, right? I had to pay on Indeed, that nice big old fee Indeed has for using their services, which is okay because it's a great service. But just know you know, what you pay is what you're gonna get. So it's always on the better side to look for the higher end of employee, an employee that's going to care a little bit more about your company. It's going to respect you a little bit more, and they're going to be there a little bit more, right? Because you're taking care of them. So in return, they're going to take care of you, right? So one little example that I want to do with you guys is basically in the auto sales industry, right? We want to make sure that we're looking up what are the averages, not just nationwide in your state, but locally as well. We want to make sure that we understand. So here I did basically an auto sales representative. What is he or her salary? So it looks like an auto car salesman in Pennsylvania. Their salary is around $43,786 a year, right? So we want to understand, okay, if this is the average salary someone in this industry is getting paid, Where do my prices, where does my margin and my net profit need to be so that I can hire somebody else to start taking the calls, to start talking to the customers, start selling the cars, because eventually you want to grow. You're not in this to basically do it all yourself. You can't. You need to multiply, you need to give to others, you need to help others. So that's one thing for sure, right? If you have your price set right at a right price, depending on your industry, in my industry, I like to set my price between 30 and 20% gross margin, right? The higher, closer to 30, the better, right? Because a lot of things can happen that are unexpected, and especially in the beginning when you don't know your process completely, you don't know the pitfalls to watch out for. So the closer you are, some industries are closer to 50 because of payback periods from vendors, right? So you need to have a little bit of a higher margin there. But it's crucial that you understand this so that you know after you pay everyone what your net is going to look like, right? So it looks like it works out around 21 some dollars an hour. So this is something that you need to pretty much set a budget for as you're growing. And as you're growing, either you can grow organically with your own funds, which I highly recommend in the beginning because you need to have an established relationship with the bank. And two, you want to feel comfortable that you know what you're doing because a lot of times when you are feeling like you're growing and you have that entrepreneur spirit, you just want to go, 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 go. What happens is that you fall into these pitfalls and you get on the phone with these brokers, and then before you know, you're signing on the dotted line for these super high interest rate loans. And before you know, it's eating up all your margin, it's eating up all your net profit, and you're basically working for free. And trust me, that is the worst feeling in the world. It is nothing like you know that you have to keep working and you are not earning a penny. It is better if you quit everything and get a 9 to 5. But we're not here for that, right? So we're going to learn the right things to do. I'm going to go over them again just so that everyone kind of understands. Make this short and sweet. Set your prices correctly. Do not be the lowest ticket price on the market. It is very hard to survive when you're starting out as the low ball offer. You need a lot of cash to do that. Two, do not sell your soul. You're here to make money, you're here to help people. Do not feel guilty. You're not a charity, right? Three, budget for your employees, right? It's very important that you understand that you can't do this by yourself. You know, you might go fast by yourself, but you're not going to go far. It's just not possible. And lastly, make sure that you're getting the appropriate loans. Make sure you're ready to get a loan. That's why I mentioned before it is best to grow organically. Have a couple sales, a couple good months, a couple good years, and then you go ask for a loan with low interest rate, anything below 10%. Now that obviously depends on your margins, right? We're going back to that margin and net profit. You don't want to get a loan that's going to eat up all your profits, right? You're basically working for free. You're working for peanuts, 1 or 2%, net margins. Now that obviously depends on your industry, right? In my industry, I do not want to be making 1 or 2%, 3 or 4%. It's also before you even start, right? You want to look at what are the average net profits, right? For your industry. So it looks like in the automobile industry, the net profit margins are around 4.57%, which is decent, right? It's a high volume industry, right? People are always needing cars, no matter what the season is. People are always looking to either sell their used cars and get a brand new one, or a birthday, etc. People are always getting cars, right? So those are things you need to watch out for. I highly, highly recommend that you subscribe, take note of the advice that I'm giving you because I've lived some of it and I've seen some of it and I've been wise enough to take note to let you guys know so you guys do not have to go through these pitfalls. Again, my name is Argenis. Thank you for watching me. I hope you subscribe. Again, the channel is Business Taxes and Insurance Depot. I'll see you in the next one.